that you took in this race? All you can do is fight. It's not about getting nervous or anything.
Holy cow. Oh my God. You can talk to me now.
The chain of the left earlier in the race when the car was handling.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe it.
And it's paid off.
Race is empty, right? Got it. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble now.
NASCAR's version of the playoffs. Some of NASCAR's biggest stars, part of a group of drivers looking to claim the final place in the chase tonight. Jeff Gordon on the front row for Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon. If none of those one-win drivers scores, they're racing head-to-head basically on points. How do you see it unfolding for them tonight?
Well, I think you're going to see Kyle Busch run good tonight. It's going to be very difficult for Jeff Gordon to outpoint him, I think. He's going to have to beat him by 12 spots. That's going to be hard to do here at Richmond. But he could have an off night, and we've seen Jeff Gordon be on it the last few weeks. Second and third the last 2 weeks. He's on the front row tonight. I like his chances, and Kyle Busch hasn't been really up to par as what we've seen him in the last few weeks. So he might have a chance at it.
You know, this is a 3/4 of a mile short track. Yeah, the speeds are still over 100 miles per hour, but not 180 like we saw last week at Atlanta, where Jeff Gordon has said a number of times this week he wished that he would have done things a little different by getting to Denny Hamlin's rear bumper. That scenario tonight, somebody's going to be in trouble if they're leading, and one of these drivers has to get in by moving them out of the way. They're not going to be afraid to make that happen.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out in these opening laps and over the course of 400 laps on this tough 3/4 mile. Jeff Gordon with a Goodyear camera. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Alan, we've talked a lot about the fact that Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch are battling for a spot in the chase. They're also in very close proximity on pit lane. In fact, only one pit box will separate the two. The 24 crew chief, Alan Gustafson, says he's not worried about the 18 at all. He's focused only on his own team and own car. But Kyle Busch's crew chief, Dave Rogers, pointed out he has a little uneasiness about a Hendrick-affiliated.
At the Richmond International Raceway, the pace car will head off this time. The remainder of 400 laps, 394 to be specific, to determine who wins tonight's race, the seeding for the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup, and who gets the final positions in that group to run for the championship. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon bring the field to the green. Bonus point for Jeff Gordon for leading a lap.
Well, I'll give him credit. He really had a lot of trust that there was grip in that second lane. He drove it off down into turn one.
Yeah, don't think for a second Junior gave it to him either. He was on the gas hard trying to get the lead on the go.
Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And Jeff Gordon can't see that competition yellow come quick enough. He needs to do some work on that 24 car if he's going to try to win.
Just gave up 5th place. Early update on Jeff Gordon from Vince.
Well, you talk about the thought that this track would have grip in it early on, but Gordon has none of it. He is way too loose on entry and exit and a little too tight in the center. Crew chief Alan Gustafson says they'll get him fixed up at the first stop.
So remember, if none of the one-win drivers wins the race, then that last wild card spot could come down to points. And Kyle Busch had a lead on Jeff Gordon starting the night. Jeff would have to outrun Kyle under those circumstances by 13 positions on the track, basically. And right now, Gordon's going backwards, and Kyle is moving forward toward him. Jeff Gordon led 2 laps.
Casey might have a winning race car.
Very early. A lot of time left in this race. A lot of things can change, but in the early going, Tony isn't moving forward, and Casey is a lot.
And the big thing with being able to do that, as we've talked about, those wins are worth 3 points each. So bonus points is what you get.
Car driver started 28th, is now running 6th on the track, tight center, loose off, air pressure, and a chassis adjustment. Vince?
Kyle Busch, middle of your screen, good in 1 and 2, but tight in the center of 3 and 4. 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment. Jeff Gordon, 4 tires, track bar adjustment, and a rubber in the left rear. Way too loose, in and off. Let's go to Dave.
And you don't see the 24 showing up on there. They were a little bit slow. I don't know if it was all the adjustments they were making, but lost some spots.
Another lap or so while the cars that are not on the lead lap have a chance to pit. And then they'll double them up and we'll go back racing. Follow up on what happened with that 24 pit stop, Vince.
Yeah, it wasn't a slow stop. It was just the fact that they made so many adjustments on that initial stop because Jeff was so unhappy with the race car. Alan Gustafson didn't want to waste any time or any opportunity. He wanted to get right after it. So as mentioned, they put a rubber in the left rear with a couple of rounds on the track bar and that 4-tire change as well. Jeff hoping that he has a better car here to do something with. In and off were the key areas of concern for Gordon and just plowing the center, he said.
Yeah, they're making changes with the wedge wrench on the right side, taking a spring rubber, looks like taking it out of the left rear and putting one in. That's what takes a lot of time is messing with the spring rubbers, but you see they have a little bit of trouble in the left front also.
Jeff Gordon came down pit road in 7th position.
You see it took a lot longer, almost a little over 5 seconds longer on that pit stop than did Gordon or Earnhardt's team. They're hoping that's going to pay off, though, and it's going to have a better race car.
You got to have that. Wasn't doing any good in the way that it was, and this is the time to make those changes. And he came back out to be running 17th now.
Jeff Gordon back in 19th position and has not gone forward any after that last pit stop, Vince.
Well, and maybe a bigger concern right now, Alan, is some oil temperature issues that Jeff is talking with crew chief Alan Gustafson about. A temperature up to 300 degrees, and certainly some concern in the voice of Gordon and the crew chief.
Got an oil temp issue, 300. Central.
Yeah, that's the upper limit, which you don't want to see it any higher than that. I don't see any debris on the grill.
One of the things that has plagued this team in these first 25 races are just things that have happened, and they have run better than what they're showing here tonight, but it seems like something's always happening.
And Jeff Gordon finds himself here on this last night, the 26th night of the season, trying to race his way into the chase. Even just think back over the last month. Watkins Glen racing for a spot in the top 10 in the last corner of the race and spins out and loses a chunk of points in the engine failure in Michigan. It might have been for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, we can always say that. Here's Tony Stewart. We talked about him.
How about Jeff Gordon, Vince?
Well, Jeff was really fighting loose in and loose off during that first run. They've helped him a little bit, especially in the center and on entry, but right now Jeff still doesn't have the drive off. He wants crew chief Alan Gustafson assuring him that they're going to get him taken care of at the next stop. Shannon?
Well, Tony Stewart is locked into the chase by at least a wild card, but if he drops out in the top 10, he will lose the bonus points. They struggled in practice yesterday. The car right now, he is slowly making his way through the field, despite the fact that he says tight center, loose off. You see he started 28th, and currently he is running 16th on the racetrack. Alan.
All right, Shannon, so an update on...
Need to win. Jeff Gordon in the 24 took the lead early, backed on the start, but it's fallen back since.
Yeah, he sure has, Nicole. And it looks like Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually gave Jeff Gordon the lead to let him get 1 point right there, which a real critical move on as good as the teammates. But Jeff has been really falling back. That 24 car is not handling real good.
Spots. We talked about him earlier. Jeff Gordon in 18th. He started second, Rusty.
I tell you, he is really struggling. Let's see what he's got to say here.
We made my entry better. I'm starting to get real tight in the center. My exit is terrible. Yeah, we're gonna fix your exit. We got a plan to get you just the same balance. The wedge is at 40, 80, burn force. Yeah, I'm just wearing the brakes out, trying to get this thing to turn. That's it for you. Nice and smooth. Hang on here. You're doing great. We're gonna get it fixed.
Okay, crew chief, what do you do?
That's a tough spot to be in because he's reacting to several different things. He's talking about having brake issues. He's talking about being loose. He's talking about being tight. You've got to get the car to roll the center of the corner so he can drive straighter off. He's not been able to get to the accelerator all night. The back of that car has not been hooked up, but now he's tight in the center of the corner, and that just aggravates the situation because you turn the steering wheel further, you try to get on the gas, and the car wants to spin out.
And just to give you an idea, when he says the car is loose, Jeff Gordon's not kidding. Taking us along for a bit of a ride. Check this out. Ooh, boy.
Ooh, turning right's not good. Whoa,
110
man.
laps complete in Richmond. We'll have more when we come back.
What's so impressive is he's not only having to pass these cars for position, but he's encountering the same lap cars that they are too. So he's having to make a lot of passes and on his way towards the front.
Good Jeff Gordon down a lap. Man, this has been a tough day for him so far.
Started on the front row.
They made a ton of adjustments on that car the last pit stop, but boy, it is just not working at all. I think they went probably the wrong way.
Bad. We got a plan to fix it.
Vince?
Yeah, they are really frustrated with this race car right now. They made a big swing at it on that first pit stop, and they just haven't made it any better right now. And we heard radio from Gordon just a little bit ago talking about how he's having to wear the brakes out just to try to get the car to turn and has no drive off. That's a bad combination, and we're seeing Gordon go backwards.
Yeah, they might have a plan to fix it, but they might not have a time to fix it and get back where they've got to get to because Kyle Busch running solidly up inside the top 10. You know, it's basically looking like they have to win, and it's going to be a tough order.
Sometimes you get into these long runs with an ill-handling car and using up those brakes, and the right front tire is what suffers. Green flag pit stops approaching. Past the 1/4 mark. Put off by weather. Open. Clock is ticking on Jeff Gordon's hopes of making it into the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup tonight in Richmond.
Yeah, I'm just wearing the brakes out trying to get this thing to turn.
A difficult night for Gordon, who started on the front row, now finds himself a lap down in 26th position as he tries to find some way, any way, to overcome what's been an ill-handling car so far and keep himself in the championship hunt. Under caution, 4th time in the race, this one for rain, a race that started almost 90 minutes late because with some of the drivers' spotters on the roof.
And Jeff Gordon's trying to make some adjustments on this car. It's just not doing what they expected it to do. And right now, you'll see what they're doing here. They're cutting the chain. There's a chain that they put on the rear end housing, so when they make these pit stops, it picks the tire up quick so they can get those tires changed without a whole lot of pumps on the jack. Sometimes you can set that thing just a little bit too close on the left rear, and it can kind of pull it off the ground as you unload, getting in the corner. They just want to make sure this is not what the problem is. So they go ahead and cut it and then see if it gets better.
Every time I've ever been in that position and hoping and praying, that's when you're in a desperate place right there, because I haven't ever seen it work. But as you said, you have to make every effort.
All right, bud, this has got us just like our teammates now. So we'll start working on that center when we get a chance. This will help you drive off a lot. Just got to focus on racing these guys at one down. I'll let you know who they are. When you can get them back over here, I'll be able to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit. They are Carl Edwards, who has just taken a wave around to get to 1 lap down. Remember, he made the pit stop under the green. Shy of halfway, under caution at Richmond. We're back after this match.
It's been a handful. We're working on it. We'll just keep going until the race is over and get everything we can out of it. But, yeah, we missed it. It's unfortunate, but a lot of racing left to go.
Where do you need it to be better right now?
On that track out there. I mean, we just missed it, it happens.
Thanks, Jeff. Dave?
Well, Vince, the rest of Hendrick Motor, 3 out of 4, Alan, in the Hendrick Motorsports camp, having a great night, but that Jeff struggle, man, that's interesting.
Yeah, Dave, you got Dale Earnhardt Jr. running 2nd, Jimmy Johnson running 4th, Casey Kane running 5th, but Jeff Gordon is a bit further down the running order, 25th.
He's the guy that needs to run good, too.
It's racing in their turnaround. Check this out.
Steady, if not spectacular. Gordon has not been nearly up to the standard he was hoping for after starting on the outside of the front row.
And staying inside the top 10.
So Jeff Gordon running right now. The 3rd car 1 lap down in 20th place needing to pass both Regan Smith and Carl Edwards to be in position to get a free pass.
We're going right back to the same place here, guys. Real loose in, real tight in the center. Drywall is going away bad. It was better, but it's going away bad. That's one nice, smooth, keep it straight.
And you see those hands on the wheel inside that 24 car, pretty busy.
Yeah, and Andy, you know, we've heard him talking and giving feedback to Alan Gustafson, but that's probably one of the hardest things to fix, a loose in and loose off, but tight in the middle situation.
Yeah, it is, and it's really, in my experience, if you fix the middle, a lot of that other stuff kind of takes care of itself. They just have not had it tonight, but that's good feedback from Jeff.
And you see Carl Edwards just a cycle back. I don't know that he's going to lose a whole lot of ground because there's not that many cars on the lead.
Jeff Gordon, who is also struggling tonight. He is in that lucky dog spot, though, right now, should the caution come out.
Yeah, Jeff just made a pass on Carl Edwards. They're battling for that. Gordon looks like his car's a lot better right now than what I've seen in previous restarts. He's able to really make some passes and show some speed for the first time tonight.
17th place for Jeff. Let's mention that Jeff Burton got the free pass at that last caution to come back around on the lead lap. And Ryan Newman went from 12th to 16th with that penalty for rolling the tire on the pit stop. So, a night that's been a struggle for Jeff Gordon thus far, maybe showing signs of life. Gordon went a lap down earlier in the race with a very ill-handling car. Denny Hamlin going by Jeff.
Starts making his way to the front. Here's a car with some speed finally tonight.
He is passing some cars on this run.
Jeff Gordon, the first car one lap down. He's in 17th place. But the guy he's about to pass is the 9th place car. Jeff has passed all those other cars between Matt Kenseth and last on the lead lap, Jeff Burton. And he's working on the 9th place car here.
Yeah, he just needs a caution. And there have been plenty of opportunities with some of the racing we've seen, but everybody's held it together.
He makes another pass on Matt Kenseth.
Can you imagine what he's thinking?
Yeah, like where was this when we needed it earlier?
Yeah.
Said another, just a yellow right now puts him right back in the game.
Let's see if one shows up. Alan Gustafson and crew have stayed after tuning on that race car all night.
I'll tell you somebody else is a lot better this run is Kyle Busch. They came back and made that extra stop like you said, Alan, and it's made their car a lot better. He's actually driven up to 8th spot.
And there they are. I'm sure Jeff Gordon looking ahead at that 18 car saying, man, if I was on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's still got time.
Yeah, Gordon's running laps that are comparable to what Denny Hamlin's running as the race leader. Which is amazing. Think where that race car was. I mean, we saw hands moving around in there. The car sideways, couldn't get it to do what he wanted in the middle, which made it terrible off. Nice adjustment that that crew's made on this race car.
It was just lap 130 when he went a lap down. Caution flag for rain just came out. Jeff Gordon got the free pass.
Less than 15 seconds. Vince. The 24, Jeff Gordon just needs more drive off. We've heard that from Gordon throughout the course of the night tonight. They thought they were getting better on it, but still needs more. They're going down around on the track bar in 4 tires.
All right, so Jeff Gordon gets back on the lead lap.
I'll tell you, it's big right there. He's on the lead lap, got 4 tires, and if it goes back green, those leaders will make a stop before they go green. He'll start in front of them. All of those cars that stayed out.
Ah, but there's the rub.
Oh, gosh, that's right.
If he has to.
Well, no, but he just got the lucky dog.
Right, he's going to start in the back.
He can't start in front of him.
Right. But if it goes green.
Yeah.
We are under caution for rain. They haven't lost the track yet. They're staying.
But I tell you, at the pace that Kyle Busch is running right now, this goes green for a while. He's going to be in trouble, in serious trouble about getting a lap down, and Jeff Gordon's got his car still going forward once again. Gordon's almost to the top 10.
He's in 11th place right now. Remember, Gordon needs to get ahead of Kyle by about 13 spots on the racetrack for that to have an effect on that final place in the chase.
The numbers I'm looking at is he needs 6 more spots between them from where they are right now.
That's 4th, 5th, and 6th. And Jeff Gordon now back on the lead lap, taking 9th place from Sam Hornish. And I know you haven't seen him in a little while, but Denny Hamlin, who gave up the lead to Pitt just before the restart and took the green flag in 5th.
Jeff Gordon has driven all the way to 6th place, one of the fastest, if not the fastest car on the racetrack right now, and he's only 2 points behind the 18 as they run.
Jeff Gordon running in that number 6.
Yeah, we go rest away.
That was Clint Boyer's radio. Jeff Gordon running in 5th position now, and Kyle Busch in 15th.
You see Gordon now catching Mark Martin. That'll be 1 spot. Okay, he's flying right now. I don't know what they did to that car, but it is on the way.
So, 84 laps to go. Still the possibility of threatening weather in the area, but Clint Boyer, Mark Martin, 55 4th. And with this latest turn of events, Kyle Busch's team not calling him to pit road and counting on the rain at the last caution. Jeff Gordon getting a free pass and having nothing to lose. Now it's just a single point for that last place in the chase between Gordon and Kyle Busch. 1 position on the racetrack, either way. Actually 2, because Kyle owns the tiebreaker over Jeff Gordon.
Right now, Gordon's thinking about winning this thing. He's looking at Mark. Mark's the fastest car last lap. They're both catching the leader, Clint Boyer, at this point.
What a turn of events.
Jeff Gordon's about a 1/4 of a second faster than Clint Boyer last lap. And you saw Jeff Gordon run right up to the bumper Mark, but then Mark actually pulled back away from Jeff, as you can see here. Now he's past Ryan Newman for 3rd.
And I'm thinking about, Andy, Kyle Busch's team. Now they're kind of in a box. They were riding out there trying to stay on the lead lap. Now they're a lap down. They haven't pitted right away. If they pit now, they're going to lose 2 more laps.
Yeah, they're in a bad spot. That's why I say the best thing for them to do is to stay out right now while they're still in that lucky dog position. They can get this lap back.
But man, how tough is it him seeing the 24 go by him right now?
Oh, painful. They're tied in points right now as they run.
Yeah, he had this well in hand, it looked like, that Gordon was struggling. Even though Kyle wasn't happy with his car, he was in plenty good position, and then everything changed.
Yeah, now he's getting to watch Jeff Gordon make up another spot, which actually puts him in position for that last wild card position if it ends like it is now.
Well, sort of. Because Gordon is actually ahead of Casey Kane on points, but Kane still has the 2 wins. So Gordon still needs to pass somebody else to get ahead of Kyle Busch on points.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he needs 2 more spots on between him and Kyle to get there.
Watch that, you saw Gordon was on Mark Martin's bumper a while ago, and Andy, you pointed out Mark Martin flying up through here right now. He is almost up to the back bumper of Tony Stewart in that 2nd spot.
Mark, one of the crowd that pitted at lap 277, so still a while before we'll see those. All ago is really going to prove costly for some of these other guys who stayed out. What a change in pictures. Jeff Gordon running in 4th. Kyle Busch now a lap down in 14th place.
We got the tail, bud. What do you need? I don't care.
Make it. From 281 to 400? Yep. So Jeff Gordon back to 5th.
I think Gordon used up a lot of car while he was trying to get up front, not knowing if it was going to rain again. He was very aggressive, and I think he might be paying the price at this point in the run, too. Same with Mark Martin. I think his drive to the front has kind of stalled a little bit.
Jeff running right now in that second wild card spot ahead of Kyle Busch as they run, but Vince, a lot still left to unfold.
That's right, and as good as Gordon's car has been on this run, it's starting to go away a little bit. He said it's a little loose in and it's too loose off, so still looking for a little more drive off for Jeff Gordon.
Last pit stop for the 24 at lap 278. And that's the championship picture as we have 57 laps to go, a 1-minute commercial break from our ABC stations. Then it's back to Richmond for the finish. What a night for Jeff Gordon. From starting on the front row to struggling in the first half of this race.
It's been a handful. We're working on it. We'll just keep going until the race is over and get everything we can out of it. But, yeah, we missed it. It's unfortunate, but a lot of racing left to go.
Well, it's a good thing for Jeff that they did keep after it and that there was a lot of racing left to go, because that 24 car, after the adjustments they've made, has come alive. And Gordon has run up into the top 5 and is currently in position to have a place in the chase, but yet with 52 laps still to go. Jeff, our Goodyear superior performer on the night. Determination, perseverance, and an awful lot of gutting it out. Carl Edwards in. Doc?
Final pit stop for Carl, hoping to get in the chase. Not going to happen tonight. Got a couple laps down early for the early pit. Left side tires going on right side chassis adjustment. Carl still trying to get the car.
Key moment here between Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch. Gordon on pit road for a green flag stop with 42 to go, Vince.
Remember, we told you just a short while ago that Gordon was a little loose in and needed better drive off. They're going to make a track bar adjustment for Jeff, give him 4 fresh tires and enough fuel, take him to the end.
Jeff evidently one of the cars that could not make it on fuel, so he has to get in here and get these fresh tires and try to just get out there and make up time.
Remember that if one of the one-win drivers does not win the race, Kyle Busch had a lead over Jeff Gordon in points to start the night of 12. So Jeff has to finish at least 13 spots ahead of Kyle Busch if none of the one-win drivers in that wild card hunt scores the victory tonight. There's Jeff Gordon running just ahead of Denny Hamlin there. Gordon is running in 9th position. And Kyle Busch is running in 18th.
The next spot for Jeff Gordon is at 22 ahead of him. And there's only 2-point separation now between the 18 and the 24 cars.
There's Kyle.
Kyle's still running 2 laps down.
Jeff needs to continue to pass cars.
Yeah, and obviously plenty fast enough to pass these cars that he's coming up on. He done it earlier.
He just got by Hornish. The next one is a 31 car of Jeff Burton.
He's got to get by everybody that's a lap down, basically. He's got to get by Burton, and he's got to track down Matt Kenseth. And Kenseth is running a good almost a quarter lap ahead of Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, that's going to be the key spot for him right now. I don't think that Kyle Busch is going to lose any more spots from where he is. So Jeff will have to gain. He'll have to pass this 31 and one more.
Oh, look at Gordon. He knows he's got to go. Coming through.
And as he goes by Jeff Burton, he's going to go by Kyle Busch also.
Well, those brake rotors are glowing red on that 18 car. Car's not doing what he wants.
Can you imagine the nerves on top of that pit box in the
on
18
both of
pit?
them. Both of them.
Look out, Tony Stewart with the number, and Louise, ABC's Nashville. The drama begins Wednesday, October 10th. Nice write-up on that show in USA Today yesterday morning. Calling it one of the best news shows of the upcoming season. So Jeff Gordon by the leader Clint Boyer to get back on the lead lap. Tony Stewart trying to do the same. Fastest car last lap on the track, 24, Jeff Gordon picking up 5th position from Brad Keselowski.
And that right there, I believe, puts Gordon into that transfer spot.
Actually, I think it tied. They're tied for points as they run with that pass. And now, yeah, it does put him a point ahead.
Wild.
Oh my goodness.
What a night this has been. You know, most of the time when a car is as bad as what Jeff Gordon's was, and you can tell how dejected he was when we had the rain delay and Vince was trying to get a word or two with him. He just felt like that his night and his season was gone out from under him. You can't usually change a car that much, Andy, to make an adjustment.
I could not believe. I said, well, they'll need, I think I said a silver bullet to fix it. They found one, and it fixed this car. You got to hand it to Alan Gustafson, I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, handed him. And Jeff Gordon is vintage Jeff Gordon when they got this thing fixed. He has been passing cars wherever he caught them.
But that one precarious point that Jeff Gordon has over Kyle Busch.
Go hard as you can, bud, hard as you can. 19 to go.
He's got Tony Stewart closing.
Well, you know, they do get their chassis and their engines from the same place.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on pit road with 18 laps to go.
If I'm looking at that 9 car, he's closing in on that 18 car Kyle Busch too. That's another spot the other way.
The way they pitted before that green came out, or as the green came out, basically, he had 4 more laps of fuel than Clint Boyer did, but they weren't on the same strategy. So Junior will need fuel to get to the end. 4 tires, no changes.
See Gordon on the right side there getting another spot from Matt Kenseth.
Yep. I say Tony's coming, but he did make up a spot on Kenseth.
More importantly, he made up a spot on Kyle Busch. Kyle didn't move forward, Jeff Gordon did. Hard spot, the last place in the chase between Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch. Mere points, mere .1 between them at the moment, as Gordon runs in 4th position and Kyle Busch runs back in 16th.
And Jeff Gordon's fastest car on the racetrack right now. He's trying to get every spot he can get. Not much really Kyle can do, but just try to maintain.
Yeah, and it's not out of the question for Jeff Gordon to finish 2nd in this race. Denny Hamlin slowed way down. Mark Martin's almost to him, and Jeff Gordon's running faster than Mark Martin, only about 15 car lengths back.
And if those cars can't make it on fuel, puts Jeff in the catbird seat.
Could win the race if circumstances present.
He's a full half lap behind Clint Boyer, but if he runs out of fuel, that doesn't matter.
13 laps to go. 2nd place, Mark Martin, 55 by Denny Hamlin. Can Mark slide in and score a win? What's been a dry spell for a while for Mark. And there's Jeff.
Gordon's going to get beside Hamlin down into turn 1 and take that 3rd spot away.
Now 2 points. 2 points between Gordon and Kyle Busch for the 2nd wild card. Casey Kane is running in 13th spot. Tony Stewart is running in 5th. Stewart in position to lock up the 10th and final position, where those bonus points for wins would count. Kane in position to clinch the first of the 2 wild cards with his 2 victories this season. 23 laps. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. If they've got the numbers to say they can do it, if they save some fuel.
Denny Hamlin to pit.
8 laps to go, and Denny Hamlin comes in. Vince?
They had him back down on the RPMs. They tried to save enough fuel to make it to the end, but it just did not work for Denny Hamlin tonight as he was seeking to win his 3rd straight Sprint Cup Series race. Coming in, they're going to put those tires on and, of course, just get him enough fuel to get to the end. 4 tire change for Denny Hamlin. He's had the dominant car tonight, but he's not going to be the guy that goes to victory lane here at Richmond this evening.
And while Vince called the Hamlin stop, you saw Jeff Gordon with a bold and aggressive move to get second place away from Mark Martin.
Wow, Mark spun the tires coming off of turn 4, and that gave Gordon a big run, and he used up side of Mark Martin's car, but that's what he had to do.
Okay, now can Clint Boyer make it on fuel?
And if he runs out, the second win for Gordon will clinch that place in the chase. If he runs out. There's Boyer. Gordon 5.6 seconds behind him. Kyle Busch 14th.
5-second lead. You're doing good. It's perfect. Perfect.
And Kyle Busch nowhere near passing Jimmy Johnson to overtake him for the next spot forward in line. Jeff Gordon is closed to 2.7 seconds. If the 15 hiccups, can Gordon get by for the win? 3/4 of a mile to go for Clint Boyer. Gordon running second. Kyle Busch running in 15th. And the win to Clint Boyer. Jeff Gordon finishes second and races his way into the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Wow.
That was an incredible turnaround for that 24 team.
Great effort. We made it by 1 point. We're in the chase.
What a night at Richmond. What a remarkable turn of events in the late night hours of a Saturday night.
Crashed, left rear tire flat. Looked like he was out of it.
Think about Jeff Gordon have rain being his friend twice this year.
That's right. He got his lap back.
And he had a rain shower here that halted the race and got him his lap back.
Carl Edwards nipped Kyle Busch at the line, so Kyle finished in 16th position. In the unofficial final rundown, Jeff Gordon finished second, and Gordon is going to get that second place in the chase, barely over Kyle Busch. Well, Vince, when you talk with Jeff Gordon during the rain delay, he was not a happy camper. I'll bet it's a little bit different mood right now.
As disappointed as he was a week ago, he's that joyous tonight. Alan Gustafson came over the radio at the end and said, never quit. And you guys never quit tonight. What a perseverance. Yeah, great effort. How'd you guys do it?
Thank you. As disappointed as I was about an hour and a half ago, or however long ago you spoke to me, I was deflated. I felt like this weekend has gone amazing, and I knew we had a good race car, and to go backwards like that was really frustrating. But man, that was an awesome effort. I tell you what, I'm so fired up to get this chase started. I don't care, where we're going to start points. We're in it. I got to thank Chase Credit Card Services and all they're doing for our Drive to End Hunger. It's just such an awesome program. Chevrolet, DuPont, Pepsi, Quaker State. Man, that was so much fun there at the end to be able to drive up through there. They did it. I mean, Alan is such a great crew chief, and he never gave up. He kept me fired up. This whole team, we never, got out of it as bad as it looked, and we made this car good enough to go up there and run up front and almost win the thing. That was amazing.
Jeff Gordon is in the chase. Shannon?
Well, Vince.
The final two places in the chase tonight came down to a crazy turn of events, and there are the two drivers who will claim the wild cards. Casey Kane, who had a pretty good shot starting the night with his 2 wins on this year, and Jeff Gordon, who winds up getting in by 3 points, 3 positions on the racetrack anywhere during the season over Kyle Busch.
Yeah, what a great gutsy run out of that 24 team tonight. They showed a lot of poise, a lot of character. I think they're going to be a challenger for this championship.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Johnson might not be so happy he's in there before this is all over with, but just a great night and some great efforts. Mark Martin up there with a chance to win this thing. Jeff Burton, a great night. And Ryan Newman looked like he was going to try to race his way in by winning, and just made a great effort at it. What a fantastic race.
Man who dominated the night tonight, leading over half the race, did not get the finish he was hoping for tonight, but will start the chase as the top seed. Denny Hamlin is with Vince.
Yeah, and I'm not.
But it was going to be a big night for somebody, and it really turned out to be a huge night for Jeff Gordon and his team. What a good performance.
Jeff Gordon races his way into the chase.
We're in the chase, Salmon. Man, you guys are awesome. Never quit. Never quit. We're going to kick their ass in the next 10 races.
You'll see why Jeff Gordon was celebrating and why Kyle Busch stormed off.
He went from 0 to hero Saturday night. We're going to talk to Jeff Gordon. And Mikey, he's going to tell us how he did it.
Kyle, he was loose in, he was tight off. Heck, he was loose in the center. I can't wait to hear how he fixed it. The surprise for me, though, was Jeff Gordon doing what he did Saturday night in Richmond. He had to beat Kyle Busch by 13 spots. How are you going to do that to Kyle Busch at Richmond? Jeff Gordon pulled it off.
We're going to talk to Jeff Gordon.
And I love Jeff Gordon's experience and his knowledge and his role. The last 3 weeks, he's been really, really fast. Those two guys are down toward the bottom of the chase, and they could wind up near the top when it's all over.
All right, bud, 110 laps here. Nobody better than you. You're leading to 24. I can see his little ass looking at me in the mirror.
Tell the 88 he can thank me later for not wrecking his ass. You got a problem with me? He was going slower than I was.
You know, at that moment, he wasn't treating me like a teammate. If you're going to take a guy for a wide, don't come sliding up the racetrack.
At the front, Jimmy Johnson's in trouble. Got to be kidding me. Oh, God!
When I pull the plug, it's all over. Jeff Gordon is the winner.
Jeff Gordon's Pocono win kept him in the contention for a wild card, though it promised to be a wild ride.
This thing ain't acting right, man. I'm vibrating like some of it. We're blown up, guys. It's all done. We cannot test and brake. We're done. This is just unbelievable the way this season has gone.
But on Saturday night, that final spot on the chase was a terrific battle between two superstar drivers.
The second wild card is within the grasp of Kyle Busch, who holds a 12-point advantage over Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon trying to work his way in, and a victory is the way he would like to do it here tonight. This has been a good racetrack for him. Hendrick Motorsports has always been strong here, so he has a lot going for him.
All right, guys, this is waiting right out there for us. Let's go take it.
Pace car behind the pit wall. Field rolls out of turn number 4, takes a look down at the start-finish line. Green flag comes out, and we are underway. Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon go at it in the first turn.
Still there, still there. All clear, all clear.
Gordon runs and guns and looking to put a bonus point on the board for leading the first lap. All right, I'm going to have to be real easy on them, real loose.
That's simple. Take care of it. We'll fix you up.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about this thing. I'm tight in the middle. So I'm real loose in, real loose off.
All right, just stay with it. We'll fix it up. We got a good plan. We know what's coming.
Jeff Gordon is just struggling right now, and the veteran, he knows he's not going to burn that race car up or take a chance on getting torn up fighting with a bad race car. He's just lost another position to Jimmy Johnson.
The crew looks forward to fixing the backsliding car. Caution gives Team 24 the green light to fix the long list of problems.
Guys, when it's open here, we're going to do 4 tires, 2 rounds down the track bar. I'm hoping we get the entry and exit better. That'll be a big benefit. We can start working on the center.
Crews on the 24 and 18 carry the spirit of battle through pit stops. Busch leaves 10 positions ahead of Gordon as they rejoin the evening's contest.
Got an oil temp issue, 300. Just one. I mean, we're just getting our asses kicked through this center right now. I'm having trouble going down the straightaway right now. So bad.
This race team is struggling with a very loose race car. He is dancing with that car all over the place, and they're talking about drastic adjustments with the car.
Give you a reference to the leaders in turn 1 now. Good for thing.
Goes Jeff Gordon down a lap. Man, this has been a tough day for him so far.
Dark clouds reflect the dark chances of Gordon making the chase. Picking away at their problems on pit road is their only hope.
All right, guys, 4 tires and fuel cut that rear bar chain.
They sent somebody up underneath the left rear corner of the race car inside the wheel well with a big pair of metal cutters to cut the chain that holds the rear sway bar. That tells you just how important it is to make the chase, that they're willing to go this drastic of a change on that race car.
All right, bud, this will be a lot better for you. It should help you drive off a ton. Let's get back in this thing.
Kyle is ahead of Jeff Gordon now by about 26 points, so he's very safe at this stage of the race, particularly so because of the fact of Jeff Gordon having all the problems out there.
Look, this stuff's about 15 miles wide, so if it stays like this, it'll probably get red for a little bit.
The rain has picked up a little bit, and right now NASCAR is red flagging this race. They have pulled them down on pit road, and they will shut the engines down, and we will await this little rain shower.
After a summer scramble to rally from 20th in points, Gordon appears to be falling short in his last hope to prove his title potential.
With the guys for a closer look at this pivotal moment in the race. So we saw them working on the left quarter panel of Jeff Gordon's car. What were they doing?
They had those cutters in there cutting the chain that connects the rear sway bar. The rear sway bar makes the car looser in the turns. We saw Jeff Gordon in there really solid on that wheel talking about how loose his car was in the corners. You cut that rear sway bar off, it tightens it up. But there's nothing free in racing. When you tighten up a car getting in the corner, and Jeff was struggling with that, he's going to be tighter in the center of the corner. So that team had to make some adjustments.
Yeah, so the red flag is out. You can't work on your cars during the red flag. But at the time, Gordon is 25th and Kyle Busch is 10th. So it doesn't look, did this delay actually help Jeff even more?
I think if they had talked about cutting the chain through the delay, but they did this on the fly, as we were talking. They did this on the fly. They already made their bed. Now they had delay in it, and that's what it was. I think what the red flag did, it gave Jeff an opportunity to cool down because he was incredibly frustrated the first part of the race in the car. Gave him a chance to regroup, gave the team a chance to regroup, look at the race different, and as this race played out, I think this helped them more than anybody else, any other team, put them in a good position.
They needed a reset.
Yes.
The first 150 of this laps of this race has not gone well. They have lost any chance to be in the chase. And I'm telling you, there isn't anybody in the world that thought Jeff Gordon could rebound.
Red flag at 150 laps. That gives them 250 laps. It's basically for them a second race. Now they're starting behind, but it's a whole new race when they go back out there.
Boyer repositioned the 15 on track, while Gordon's team monitored the position of the 24, Busch's 18, and every car in between.
Here's a car with some speed finally tonight. He is passing some cars on this run.
99, 83, 78. Go get those guys.
I'll tell you somebody else is a lot better this run is Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch is very safe right now in his position. He
dropped here again.
Caution flag for rain. Jeff Gordon got the free pass. Some of the lead lap cars have pitted, some have not.
24 got the lucky dog. He's the last car of the lead lap. Put 4 tires on it. Gotta stay out. What? What do you mean we gotta stay out? Bring it to us, bud. Bring it to us. Just 1 to go. And be outside the 48. The fuck was the goddamn 1 to go, fuckers? You know, those leaders didn't take tires. So that'll be good, man. That'll be good for us. Yeah, this guy's gonna be in trouble that didn't pit.
All right, we're going back under the green flag. Lap 282. Kyle Busch having some problem. He lost about 5 spots on that restart. He got trapped on the outside lane and still is 3 wide up in turn 2.
Inside 24. Out 3 wide top.
Kyle Busch and his team elected to stay on the racetrack. It did not pit, so they are on older tires, and they cannot keep the car at the bottom of the racetrack. The much fresher Goodyear Eagles are a lot quicker, and Kyle Busch is continuing to backslide.
In real time, split-second decisions reveal their outcomes. The 18's pit strategy setback allows the surging 24 to renew the skirmish over the final chase spot.
You're the fastest thing on the track.
Hey, he's flying right now. I don't know what they did to that car, but it is on a rail.
Now it's just a single point for that last place in the chase between Gordon and Kyle Busch.
24 is running 5th. We're 1 point to the good right now. Keep taking, babe.
Here's Kyle Busch being overtaken by the race leader as he goes a lap down to Clint Boyer. We'll probably see this 18 in pretty quickly.
We're at the pit, bud. What do you need? I don't fucking care.
66 laps to go here at Richmond International Raceway. Kyle Busch is on pit road.
Crucial moment in his hopes for the chase.
He slides to a stop. Right side of the M&M's Toyota goes in the air. They've got a problem on the right rear. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series official has his hand in the air, pointing down at the right rear. They have a loose lug nut on the right rear.
The penalty on the right rear. Don't go. Go back to the right rear. Go back to the right rear.
Ouch.
Hey, go, 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 go.
That mistake, that miscue on pit road could be what keeps him out of the chase.
Kyle loses it and never seems to get it back. And I was really disappointed after the race, the way he handled the media, the way he walked away, the things he said, the way he stormed off from Joe Gibbs. That's the difference. I think you've got to get those emotions under control to be a champion.
And in this race, Kyle, of course, it's not about between Kyle or Jeff Gordon winning. It's where one guy finishes, where the other one finishes, right? So Jeff Gordon now, we've talked about his shift. He's kind of in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you know, I tell you what, Jeff and those guys made all the right calls at the end of the race. Once they cut the chain to the sway bar, it seemed like every call they made after that, every move they made after that, moved them forward in the field. Jeff got up on the wheel, drove the wheels off that thing, passed car after car after car. And when you looked at it and you compare the 18 and the 24, the 18 was going in one direction and the 24 of Jeff Gordon was headed to the front.
As you pointed out earlier, Gordon, hot earlier, upset, but he calmed down and obviously put himself in a great position to win. So it comes down to Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon for that second and final wild card spot. We'll show you how it plays out, our final installment of our exclusive highlights behind the wheel.
A lot of stuff has happened here in the last 20 or 30 laps, and I'm sure a lot more will happen.
After a pit road mishap, Kyle Busch wheels the 18 against the 24, who has crept closer to laying claim of the final playoff position. Final adjustments in the final pit stop prepare the final charge.
Right now, as of the last completed lap, there's only 1 point between them. Kyle Busch has the upper hand, at least for the moment.
All night, the 18 and the 24 battled the track for position. For the final 25 laps, the two chase hopefuls will at last square off in a side-by-side showdown.
But man, how tough is it him seeing the 24 go by him right now?
Oh, painful.
To clinch the final spot, Gordon needs to quickly place some distance between him and the 18.
I need that 17 and that 2 up there going into 1. They're a second slower than you.
Gordon getting another spot from Matt Kenseth.
Gotta go hard as you can, bud, hard as you can.
Gordon's gonna get beside Hamlin down into turn 1 and take that third spot away.
Gotta get that 55, gotta get him.
Jeff Gordon is vintage Jeff Gordon. He has been passing cars wherever he caught them.
Oh, clear, that was real nice right there.
Jeff Gordon with a bold and aggressive move to get second place away from Mark Martin.
At the line, it'll be 5 to go.
Jeff Gordon's fastest car on the racetrack right now. He's trying to get every spot he can get. Not much really Kyle can do, but just try to maintain.
The 15 up there's the leader. He may run out. All you can.
Gordon's second place run isn't the night's only incredible comeback.
Auto Parts 400, and Jeff Gordon wins the second wild card.
Never give up, baby. Never give up. What an effort, guys. What an effort. I'm so proud of you, man. That's what I tell you to it, Jeff. Fight. Never quit. Never quit.
After the wild night, Jeff Gordon will chase his 5th. Kyle Busch can only chase what might have been.
Now, that's got to be bitter, bitter, bitter.
I blew it, bud. We missed it. My fault. 100% my fault. I blew it.
Way to go, brother! Way to go! Nice job, man. Nice job.
The lesson learned in success and failure is weighed in the same balance. Owner Joe Gibbs reminds Busch not to lose character.
This will be a real
Holy cow. Oh my God. You can talk to me now. I cannot measures and it's paid off. Clint Boyer celebrating by smoking his tire. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble now.
4 Hendrick drivers, and a half a dozen more will chase the Sprint Cup.
But you heard the passion that Jeff Gordon had, and his guys never give up, never refuse to lose. Go, baby, go.
And we heard Kyle say, I don't care. I don't care, right in the middle of that. And I do believe that Dave Rogers made the wrong call, because I think at that point in time in the race and what they were racing for, they weren't racing for the win. They didn't have to worry about it. All he had to do was pit. Just come on down pit road, let me give you 4 tires and some gas, let's stay in sequence with everybody else, and all we have to do is finish a certain way with Jeff Gordon. So I think he might have made the bad call.
Isn't it amazing, though, when things go wrong, it seems to pile on? They pitted under green, and they had a terrible pit stop.
Right.
That pit stop probably took 5, 6, 7 seconds longer than it should have, and he only lost the chance to be in the chase by 5 or 6 spots, and that could have been 5 or 6 seconds on the racetrack.
Yeah, how much of Jeff Gordon was it the car, the crew chief? I know it's a team effort. And then how much was him and his experience digging for every ounce he needed?
I think it was everything. I think that's Jeff's total experience coming into play in that last little bit of that race. I think when you look at what the team did, all they had to do was have a solid pit stop. Kyle had already messed up his pit stop, so all Jeff and those guys had to do was have a solid pit stop. They had that. They put themselves in position all night long. And if you watch the race, we see Jeff start on the outside and go straight to the back. We see Kyle start halfway back and go to the front. So these guys passed each other this way, and they passed each other this way, and then at the end of the race, it ended up with Jeff in front.
And you know what you have to do? Kyle's right. You have to look at what your competition is doing.
Yes.
If Kyle Busch just says, wherever Jeff Gordon goes, I'll go with him.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? But that rain delay, Chris, the adjustments that Alan Gustafson made to that 24 car, they just went to another level. Every now and then, special athletes do special things in sports, and this was an example of that. They just got outside the gymnasium and played up high.
All right, and look at how close it was by 3 points, 3 positions in the bigger picture. After 26 races to get here, that's what it took for Jeff Gordon just to get in. Jeff Gordon, after accomplishing what he did, he sent out some tweets, and I know you're a big guy on Twitter. Let's take a look at some of it, because he made a little wager with his crew. And what he tweeted was, so many of you may have heard I made a statement that if we made the chase, because remember, he was the long shot going into this, I'd bring back the stash, and I'm a man of my word. And he wants a little help on Twitter with which decision, which mustache to go with. Remember, he had one early in the 90s. Jeff Gordon makes the chase for the 8th time in his career and does it in dramatic fashion.
Race 26 of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series for 2012, the race that sets the final spots in the field for NASCAR's version of the playoffs. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon bring the field to the green.
Still there, still there. All clear, all clear.
Bonus point for Jeff Gordon for leading a lap.
So loose in that I can't use a brake. I'm just wearing the freaking brakes out, trying to get this thing to turn. All right, bud.
Jeff would have to outrun Kyle by 13 positions on the track.
P4, bud, doing great.
Now it's down to 1 point, the deficit between Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon.
Gotta have him, bud, gotta have him. All clear. Yeah, you did it, buddy, that's right. That's how you fight.
Jeff Gordon wins the second wild card over Kyle Busch.
Oh, man, you guys are awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Let's kick your ass in this shit. Woo!
Excited, getting in just under the wire, the 4-time champ Jeff Gordon, and he joins us now on Inside NASCAR. And we congratulate you, and that mustache not hiding your smile, or the beginning of a mustache. You got a lot going on there, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm only a couple days into it, so I got to let it grow a little bit further before I get it into a full mustache. But I'm excited, looking forward to it. It's been a lot of fun, and listen, I made a commitment, and I meant it, and so I'm sticking with it.
Well, I'm really excited about this mustache, because in '92 when you showed up, it was epic. And I believe you're going to bring it all the way back. And it's going to be a lot of fun to follow you in the chase with that baby.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, as much ribbon as I got about it back then, I don't even know if you're going to see it much, because it's very gray. It's probably more gray than there is brown. So it's going to it's going to take a life of its own, and we'll go with it and have some fun with that. You have no idea how many times over the years I've been asked, bring back the mustache, bring back the rainbow paint scheme. So we're going to work on the mustache. We'll see what happens with the rainbow.
Yep, those were successful years, obviously, Jeff. Any momentum you can take from getting in at the last moment that you can carry forward in the chase?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the last 3 races for us coming into this, incredible battles by this team, great race cars. And I think, to me, what we did Saturday night has fired us up more than anything that we've done all year long. I mean, to have the race start the way it did, we lead the first lap, but fall back and just really struggling with the race car. Alan and the engineers, the guys in the pits, they never wavered. They never panicked, kept me calm, even though I was pretty fired up at times. And we just, never stopped working on trying to get the car better. And obviously we had to have some things go our way in order to make it in. But we kind of forced that issue by having a really strong race car the second half of that race.
You have on your shirt there 20 years with DuPont. Obviously, over those 20 years, you've raced for a lot of championships. You have a lot of experience in this chase. How is that going to help you race these guys through the next 10 weeks?
Well, what I love about the position that we're in, Michael, is, we weren't even expected to really make it in. I mean, yeah, if you look earlier in the season, but if you look the way our season's gone, we've had fast race cars, and I think, we and everybody else knows that we've had fast race cars, but it doesn't matter if you don't put the results together. We've been able to put those results together here lately, and we know that if we can, continue that and get some consistency, that we're a dangerous combination. I think our past experience being in the chase certainly allows us to understand that 10 weeks of races, that's a lot of laps, a lot of racing, and a lot is going to happen. But we're kind of looking at this as, we're under the radar, the underdogs, and we just squeaked in. Nobody's looking at us, and let's go see what we can do for 10 weeks.
Could you explain to me, we heard in the highlights, you said, I'm so loose in, I can't touch the brakes. And then later in the race, you said, I'm using the brakes so hard to get it to turn. How do you work on a car that's got all that going on?
No kidding. Luckily we do have some tools inside the car with the brake bias. So, I was so loose that I just started cranking, front brake in it to try to keep me from getting loose, getting in. And then the team was making big adjustments. One of the biggest adjustments that we made was the rear sway bar. And we were looking at our teammates and our setups and trying to compare what we had and what they didn't have, and we ended up cutting the chain on the rear sway bar, and that really brought the car to life. It just gave me the security in the corner and off the corner that we needed. So, obviously a lot of it was in the car because the car wasn't there early, and then I could do a few things, with my, my driving and how I was entering the corner and using the brakes.
Of the 9 chases, you've made 8 of them, so you're a good guy to ask, Jeff. Other than yourself, give us size up the field for us as we begin this thing. Who's the target? Who's the long shot, other than maybe yourself?
Oh my goodness! I mean, it just changes week to week. I feel like you can never count out Jimmy Johnson, 5-time champion, Hendrick Motorsports, all 4 cars in the chase. That's huge, and I think any one of us can be a real threat. But you look at what Denny Hamlin has done here recently. I mean, he's definitely got the momentum on his side. Other than having to go through what they went through on Saturday night to try to help Kyle get in. They, I feel like, kind of had the car to win, or at least battle with Clint Boyer. So, and then the wins prior to that. So those guys, to me, look to be the strongest. You've got Darian Grubb, who won, this championship last year with Tony Stewart. And then you can't ever count out Tony Stewart or anybody, really, because of what he did last year. After what he did last year, it is wide open what anybody is capable of doing when this thing starts.
Thanks for being with us, Jeff, on Inside NASCAR, and good luck the rest of the way.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, guys.